Pete, the auction market is slowly getting better in Melbourne. Looking across Australia's capital cities, according to CoreLogic, there was 1,107 auctions this weekend, returning a clearance rate of 70.5%, which is pretty high. Last week, the final clearance rate has just come through and it was 67.5%, which was the highest clearance rate since about March. So the auction market is getting better and things are slowly picking up in Melbourne. Just a week ago, there was only 11 homes set for auction in Melbourne. This weekend that's just passed, there was now 60. It still is returning a clearance rate of very low clearance rate of just 29%. And 63% of the homes were withdrawn from sale. Of the properties that did sell in Melbourne this weekend, about 93% of them were sold before the auction. But the good news for the Melbourne property market, though, from today, private property inspections are allowed again. So 2 people are given a 15-minute window with a real estate agent to inspect a property, to either rent it or to buy it. And this is going to really make a big impact on the market because if you think about it, if you're considering buying a home, you'd really want to inspect it first. So inspections are allowed from today, and that should help the auction market improve in Melbourne. Looking across the rest of the city, Sydney is the strongest performer with 815 homes sold over the weekend. Clearance rate of nearly 75%, and the amount of stock on the market in Sydney is the highest since April. So things are slowly getting better for the auction market.
All right. Meanwhile, Ed, there's some pretty big economic data that's being released in the United States this week, including GDP and unemployment as well. What are economists predicting on that front?
GDP in America for the June quarter is expected to fall about 31.7%, which is the largest contraction on record. It's apparently 3 times larger than any previous contraction in America. Obviously expecting a big, tough second quarter for the American economy. Also, the unemployment numbers, if they call them non-farm payrolls in America, the unemployment rate in the States is expected to tick down slightly. It's currently at 8.4%. It's expected to go down to 8.3%. They're expecting about 875,000 people filing for unemployment benefits in the month of September. So it's a bit of a grim data set ahead here for the American economy, and it comes just a couple of days before Trump and Biden have their first debate, which is on Tuesday in America. So that's another thing to watch as well this week. OK, and Ed, Westpac are predicting the RBA will cut interest rates next week on federal budget day. Yeah, it's turning out to be a big day next week. Westpac's chief economist, Bill Evans, has changed his views on the interest rates. For this whole year since March, the Reserve Bank has kept the cash rate on hold at 0.25%. And they've said quite a few times that 0.25% is the lower bound. They're not interested in lowering it any further. However, Westpac's Bill Evans now believes they will cut it to 0.1% and they'll adopt a Team Australia approach. They'll work hand in hand with the government on federal budget day to help get Australia's economy back on track. We know the budget already is a very infrastructure-heavy budget. And I guess the theory from Westpac's Bill Evans is if there's a cheaper money coming into the economy through the Reserve Bank, then that'll just help Australia get better. He has predicted this cut, but the Commonwealth Bank economists, they believe it's going to be kept on hold at 0.25%. So we'll have to see.